Hello everybody, welcome back to some Ion F1 action. We're in the United States for the first time since Season 1, all of them years ago, back in 2019. Joining you in the commentary box for today's qualifying session is me, Pod Dolphin, and Shay.
Hello, welcome to a great day of racing. Got some new changes to teams and drivers, and a beautiful track out here in Dallas, Texas, the Tri-State Motor Speedway. We're hoping you join us today for some great racing, along with me and Depot.
Brandstar, your team, they've got a special livery running. Uprise has got a special livery running. McLaren's got a special livery running. I've probably missed someone's team, but I can't think of any more. We've also got a new team on the grid.
Was running one.
BMW was running one in free practice, and no one liked it, so they switched it back.
Yes.
Pro Drive is a new team. They've replaced Mazda, owned by everyone's favourite Iron YouTuber Fexalan. We've had a load of driver switches. For example, Pro Drive have taken Professor Blocks from Aston Martin. They've replaced Professor with Project User. We've got Mr. Lakishot YT from Mazda now reserve driving for KRR because Pachikuro is unavailable. And it's just a lot of movement has happened over the last few days.
Not to mention the fact that Matt from Brandstar is not going to be running for the rest of the season, and thus Landstroit has taken his place. You might remember him from Lamborghini for a little bit.
Yeah, that literally happened like 2 hours before the race began, which was really helpful on my end. I didn't know you could. I didn't know you could switch drivers that soon, quickly, get a deal done in time. But turns out you can.
Landstroit was already our reserve driver at that time, so putting him in was actually pretty easy.
How is he your reserve driver and a Lamborghini main?
Because, yes.
Okay. If we cast our eyes over to Aviate on Chad in the McLaren, they've just set a purple Sector 1. See them come through this middle sector here now. Through the twisty road course section of this Roval circuit. You can see a BMW ahead of them, a KRR behind them. That's the number 7 car of Mr. Lakishot. Now coming up onto turn 20. This is the final long banked corner of the lap. You want to be careful. You want to try and stay on the yellow line. But if you go onto that slaty looking stuff on the left there, that has a lot less traction and you'll really slide out. And there's a very, very high possibility that you could crash your car out. So that's something to keep an eye on going around them long corners. Anyone clipping their wheels on the parts of the track surface that has less grip. And
okay, I want to interrupt you real quick. Can we talk about that incredibly long slipstream train that was just right there behind him? A bunch of the cars just crashed out as well. I saw a BMW crash out, an Aston Martin, or maybe it was an Aston Martin, but damn, that was an incredible train of slipstreaming drivers.
Yeah, there was a lot of people going around at the same time. And they'll probably all come out at the same time again. I can see a load of people in the pits, not actually moving anywhere. I don't think there's actually anyone on track. I can't see anyone. Oh, there is Fernand, who is sliding and going into the wall.
One thing to mention, I might add, is that big slipstream train was getting these drivers a lot of great times. We see Decare getting that 142.9. I don't think we saw that during free practice 3 at all. I think the top time then was a 143.
I've seen 143.8, I think, from free practice 2. That's the last one I paid attention to.
Well, if we see another train like that, we might see something in the 142.5. Interestingly enough, this is a pretty long track compared to some of the other ones we've been running.
Yeah, the lap time is quite long, but it is all compacted together, so it doesn't look that big on the surface. But you get into the inside of the oval, and it's very twisty and turny, and you go back on yourself a couple times.
And compared to a track like Daytona, this track uses almost all of the NASCAR loop, or the Indy loop, however you see it, and then uses almost the whole area of the track in order for that road course.
very compact, isn't it? It's
Very compact.
It's a very different design from what we've seen before, but from what I've heard from the drivers, everyone likes it quite a lot.
I've heard mixed reviews because for every person that likes it, there's another person who likes to complain about the DRS zones on those curved sections, along with some of the bumps on the banked sections.
I think it's a good idea, to be honest, because the corner's banked anyway, so you're going to roll into it, and it gives you more power.
I am surprised that they're taking it so well. I honestly thought some of these cars during those turns would slip out because of the lack of downforce, but they seem to be able to hold their own pretty well.
And as we can see here, there is a rather large traffic jam.
Huge train. That is a huge train of cars. I'm seeing an E-Spirit, Craig, Audi, both of the Uprise drivers, a Lamborghini, Red Star. Both Pro drives are now getting in it, and it looks like they're going to go now, but they're being very slow. This is not a train anymore. This is the whole locomotive.
There is that chicane. There is a medium speed chicane. You really don't want to be going this slow through it. So I don't know if this is going to compromise their final lap times or what. They can probably around now squeeze in about 2 if they're really, really tight about it.
Uh-oh. Alright, we're good. Had a bit of lag there.
Yeah, me too. Let's go on board here with Mummy, one of Uprise's new drivers, or Uprise's new driver. It's a wonderful view we can get there.
Is Miggy running today as well?
Yes.
Alright, sounds good. Hopefully this will be the one time he doesn't crash. I mean, this is his home track now. Or actually, it's more like Brandstar's home track. But, you know, they're both American teams. They're both running great liveries. So it's going to be good to see both of these teams succeed in this track. And hopefully be the first time Uprise gets some actual points.
Yeah, at the moment they're not doing too well. They're the only team that hasn't scored so far.
It'll be interesting to see if they get points as well as R&D points.
Yes. Yes.
What was I about to talk about? I totally forgot. I totally just lost my train of thought. Speaking of train.
Speaking of train, there's one eye on track with 50 seconds to go. There is about 10 cars in a line here going through the middle sector. It's quite mad.
Yeah, I'm not expecting any people waiting along anymore because with 46 seconds, they're not going to be able to do any kind of hot lap.
Talking about Uprise and the other teams lower down, as many of you will know, or won't know, there is a restriction to the number of teams that are going to be able to race in F1 next season at 10. I don't know why I said 4. That number was just in my head. 10 teams are going to be able to race next season. The bottom 2, so P11 and P12 in the constructors, are the teams that will be knocked out. At the moment, that's Mazda and Uprise Motorsports, and pretty much the top 4 of Brandstar, KR Racing, Audi and Aston Martin, they're pretty much confirmed to be in next season because of the amount of points they have already. But you never know, later on in the season, if someone's naughty, they may get some point reductions. So you're going to have to keep an eye out for that. But it's going to be a pretty safe bet to say that the top 4 now have enough points to compete next season.
Let's look at these qualifying times real quick. We see DeCarron first, obviously.
Yeah, over a second.
Interestingly enough, look at ProDrive. Professor Bloxer and Melodic Adrian taking 2nd and 4th, and Fenn and Jester with Lamborghini taking 3rd. Kaikara taking 5th, understandably. Space Ghost actually doing better than Critical Noob in Red Star, 6th for Space Ghost, 10th for Critical Noob. F1 Fan for Craig, getting 7th. Aviation Chad for McLaren, getting 8th, with Mr. Macho Glow getting 11th for McLaren. And then you got Indominus Rex, who was doing pretty great during the beginning of this time, now getting 9th in this qualifying, with Mr. Lackishot getting 12th for KRR, the second KRR driver. Aston Martin not looking too good with Ferdinand and Project User. Ferdinand's going to get 13th, and Project User's going to get 18th. Jogsy with E-Spirit taking up 14th. That'll be the best E-Spirit on the grid right now. Me for Uprise 15th, and Real Miggy getting 20th. Danza Hadjack and Static getting 16th and 17th for Audi. That's not going to go well for them. Hopefully they get that up. Then you got Christen Number 19th for Lamborghini, that'll be the second Lamborghini driver. Rio Miggy, again, 20th. Acer 1, I believe that is the other E-Spirit driver. That's going to be 21st. And then Lance Stroid for Brandstar getting 22nd. Looks like that was not a good qualifying run for him. Hopefully he'll be able to bring that back up. And I think one more, yep, Real Rick Ashley for BMW. That'll be the 23rd and the final spot. Which means we are missing one driver, and that seems to be a Craig driver. So Craig's only going to have one driver on the field.
Craig sort of has been a little bit funny with ever since what happened with Castronics. They haven't really had a solid second driver.
That is true. But I mean, even E-Spirit was having that problem, and they were able to find some drivers off of that. However, I mean, I'm not sure Craig has enough points to keep in the grid. I'm not sure he's actually trying to, get a high spot. He's probably just trying to keep it in for next season.
Yeah, that sounds like a good sort of strategy if you are struggling with one of the teams.
But that should be the end of qualifying, and soon later we will be starting the race. Hopefully we'll be expecting no crashes. However, seeing how the last races have gone, I'm not sure that's something that we can exactly wish for. But hey, good open mud.
Hopefully it won't happen, but it might.
Alright.
Just got to keep it in mind. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was qualifying. The race is coming in a second. We'll see you soon. Stay tuned, because the Formula 1 US Grand Prix is right around the corner. Home to 7-Eleven and the tallest cowboy. You really can find some strange things here in Dallas. Welcome everybody to round 7 of season 4 of the Iron Formula 1 World Championship, coming to you live from the Tri-States World Speedway in Dallas. It's the first time we're racing on a roval, or even an oval for that matter, with turn 1 and turn 20 being some of the longest continuous corners we've ever raced upon. The banking around those corners is also the highest we've ever seen. 7 degrees, it might not sound like much, but it feels like much once you jump on board with the DRS wing open. Here's the track then, ladies and gents. 23 corners and around a 1 minute and 43 second lap time. Fuel saving really is a priority. The inner course may seem twisty and turny, but with these modern cars and a decent setup, you can take most of these at full throttle. Elevation, there isn't any apart from the bump up and down over the transition between the oval and the road course, and here are the 2 DRS zones, both of which flow around the first and final stages of the track. Here is the starting grid then. Lining up on pole position, it's Dakar 2, and alongside them is Professor Bloxer with their new team, ProDrive. Third place is going to I can't remember. That's broken again. 5th goes to Kaikara. 6th goes to Space Ghost in the Red Star. Actually, a surprisingly high start for Kaikara. They usually don't do so well in qualifying. 7th goes to F1 Fan. 8th position goes to Aviaton Chad in the McLaren, with P9 going to Indominus Rex in the BMW. Critical Noob, surprisingly low. 10th place for the Red Star. 11th goes to Mr. Mucho Globe. And 12th is Mr. Lakashop YT, but for KR Racing, not for Mazda. 13th goes to Fernand. 14th goes to Jogsy. P15 is going to go to the Uprise of Mummy. That's one of their new drivers. And 16th goes to Dancer Hayek in the Audi car. 17th is one of Audi's reserve drivers with Project User. There with their new team, Aston Martin in 18th position. 19th goes to one of the Lamborghinis. 20th goes to Real Miggy Cool at 97th in the Uprise. 21st goes to Acer 1, and 22nd is Lance Droid for Brandstar. And 23rd is one of the BMWs, that's Real Rick Astley, and nobody qualified in P24. We're back, everybody. Joining you in the commentary box today is me, Poor Dolphin, and alongside me we have the Brandstar team owner, Shea. Hello.
Hello, we are here. We are here in Dallas, my hometown. It's great to be here. It's great to be here in the hometown of Brandstar. And we're going to be expecting some great results today. By the way, this is now sponsored by Southwest Airlines. This whole track is going to be sponsored. So, be sure to get your deals on your next airline over here with Southwest.
Is that by any chance because Southwest are based out of Dallas?
Sorry?
Is Southwest sponsoring the track because they're based out of Dallas?
Yes.
Oh, what a
And also
coincidence.
because I paid for it.
Okay. Server just had to restart, ladies and gents, so the race will be getting underway very shortly. Everything just needs to get set up. I believe the starting grid was getting fixed, or not, so I can't see it being fixed yet, but that'll be sorted out very shortly because of the banking. The positioning of the lines has to be adjusted because banking makes it go upwards and the track covers over the lines.
I'm just waiting on Fast to do the finishing touches. I'm assuming he fixed the grid. He didn't fix the grid. But that's okay. That's all right.
We'll deal with that problem in... yeah. That will be dealt with.
Yeah, and they haven't announced that the race has started yet. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing that. Oh, okay. Okay, so we got some information on why Lance Droid actually was doing kind of a bad qualifying. It turns out his controller died mid-track. So...
Oh, that kind of scuppered
Hopefully
his best lap time then, I assume.
yeah, that would explain that. Hopefully that doesn't happen during the race. Anyways, let me see if I can set up the advertising. I think Fasta has given the go-ahead.
I see Southwest logos just pop up everywhere in a second.
Oh, don't you worry, they'll show up. If I can find them.
I'm not sure what they're going to replace. There's some bad year advertising on the Starlight gantry.
Yeah, mainly,
there's some Zen advertising on the other side of the track.
It's probably going to be like the Zents on the backside, the bad year on the starting grid, and on top.
Find out.
We will in 3, 2. Let me make sure Fasta is allowing me to do that. I'm going to ask him real quick. Is he here? Oh, I think he's being
Oh, they've got the starting grid sorted.
Okay, well that's good. Oh, hang on. Okay, yep, we're good to go. So,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, there it is.
Wonderful Southwest Airlines sponsorship. Oh, you've also changed the colour of the seats. Look at that.
Yep, that is something you can do. That is interesting, although I don't think I actually meant to do it that color, but oh well. I might actually change that real quick. So we're just gonna update that. We're gonna make the color 255, 255, 255. Let's get some white.
There we go.
Yeah, all
Some
right.
nice white seats.
Bright seats. Let's go. And so since Fasta said those ads are in, we'll be having I'll just DM this to you. I'm just waiting for them to finish up the grid placement. All right, and we're back. Looks like we are still waiting on 2 drivers.
Yep. I can see a couple of empty spots. I can see an ID coming out of the pits now.
Is that how many more people are we waiting on? And here comes Dan right now. It looks like a full grid to me.
I can't see any missing slots there. That's everyone I counted in qualifying.
Do you think Professor Bluxer's going to make some points today with Pro Drive? See if they have a better strategy than he did in Aston Martin?
Well, it depends what ProDrive really have. They did take over Mazda, but they might have switched out some staff, new engineers. Depends who Fexelan has managed to hire, what quality of talents he's managed to get into his team.
Well, I mean, he does have water department in there, which is understandably is why it's Pro Drive. And if you don't remember,
Yeah.
Pro Drive did some pretty great stints when it came to GT3. and I would expect they'd be able to bring those up into this F1 stint. However, you know, you have Professor Bloxer. As long as he stays on track, he does really good. It's the same with Melodic Adrian. We saw how he did in Japan last season.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they'll be able to stay with that. Although, I just find it interesting how Professor Bloxer left Aston Martin like that.
I know.
He's been in
It
Aston
was.
Martin since last season.
Yeah, it's like the most least expected thing ever. He's been at Aston Martin since season 1 as a reserve driver. He stayed with them when they rebranded through season 2. Then when they came back to Aston Martin, he re-signed for season 3 and he re-signed for season 4. He's like the most committed Ion driver ever. And then as soon as Fexalan pops up with their new F1 team, suddenly they move. Just waiting for the race control panel to be set up by the race director. And that is Dakar resetting. Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, we got plenty of time. We're doing pretty well on time. If we don't have any crashes, we'll be able to actually probably finish this race right on time. Oh, well,
I don't understand why they needed to reset the car. Maybe they were changing the wing.
downforce.
Yep, the wing downforce numbers, wing angle.
Well, I mean, best to do that before you're off on the track and doing your race. Oh, seems as though Dan had the same idea.
But now it's been faster.
Get your tickets today out of Love Field in Dallas, Texas. That's where I get mine.
And Dakar
Man,
is
I'm great we
lined
don't-
up.
I'm glad we don't monetize this place so we don't have to debadge that, or else it would have been Northwest.
Drivers are being told to jump out and jump back into their cars, so they pop up
No more
on the
formation
timing
laps.
tower. Yeah, well, formation laps take ages, and if you can do it this way, it's a lot quicker, and everyone likes it more.
All right, well, now all we're waiting for is the lights, and here we go.
Green flag! And Faster, the race director, tells us to watch the lights, which we will do now. The two on the front row, Dakar on your left, Professor Bloxer on your right. 5 red lights are on. And we're off and away in the USA.
Oh.
Dakar gets a good start. Professor Bloxer goes up the inside. We're now coming around turn 1. The long left-hander, the banked left-hander. We're going to come down to a little straight soon. Nobody looking for any moves. Kaikara's managed to get up, however. Kaikara's fighting for the lead already. I said no one was making any moves, but Kaikara's in the lead of the race. But he's gone wide. Kaikara's gone
Oh my
wide.
goodness! So many went wide. Everybody's in the sand trap, and one of the Audis is already gone.
Melodic
That's
Ad-
static. He's already out of the race.
Melodic Adrian has managed to make their way up to second now off of the line. Kaikara was challenging for the lead and just misjudged his braking zone. There's been a red flag and everyone's been told to head back to the pits.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that actually makes some sense. One of the starting lights actually went off a random time compared to the others. That might be why we're having a red flag. Good to get these fixes out of the way now before we get them in the middle of the race. But do the drivers know that?
They haven't red flagged the session. It is on yellow flag. But Faster has said red flag, so hopefully these drivers will be returning to the pits as soon as possible. They're
Well-
just going to get around the Roval section.
To be fair, it's good that he doesn't put it on red flag because you know what happens when you put red flag on.
Oh yeah, you get collisions, don't you?
We don't want that. But it seems as though the carrot's still running. He's still trying to race. But what we saw, like, off that just main sprint, we saw Takara in the lead, but we also saw both of the pro drives getting in that second and third spots.
The Pro Drive's got a really good start, but also for those who went off at the first proper turn, the tight left-hander of turn 2, those who went into the gravel trap, now they know where they should really be braking, so maybe on the restart, Kaikera and the others who went off, such as Static, if they're allowed to rejoin and we restart from lap 0, maybe they'll have a little bit of a better start.
And now we're going to have everybody going back into the pits. It looks like they're going to get their cars set up again for this restart. This is pretty good for Static. He gets to start the race again, even though he had that crazy crash off of that first U-turn.
So for those of you now just joining us, it is a red flag. We did start the race, but one of the starting lights went a bit faulty. It went off at the wrong time, so it has been a red flag. Everyone has returned to the pits. New cars, new tyres, new setups maybe for some of them. A bit of experience of where to brake going into turn 2.
We might have a shutdown if this doesn't get fixed, because I'm seeing these yellow lights right now. They are not synchronized.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean there. The front ones are flashing, and then it's the rears, and then it's the 2 at the front, and then the 1 in the middle, and it's all a bit janky.
Well, we might do a test run real quick, but we'll see what happens. Do not be surprised if we get a shutdown. I hope we don't get a shutdown. It means I have to restart my whole computer. Seva is flying in the pits. Okay. Seems as though everybody's just confused what's going on. All of them are in the pit lane. Outside of the garage sections. I guess we're just waiting on an announcement from Fasta.
Oh, Project User's just come to the front of the pack. And he's reversing back in again. Doesn't seem like anyone can really make their mind up on what to do.
Oh, looks like the yellow lights have synchronized now.
Oh, look at that. How wonderful. Hopefully that means that the start lights will synchronize. Like Shay said, I won't be surprised if they do a quick test run of the lights to make sure that they are indeed in sync. Oh, but they've just gone a bit out of sync again, I can see. Oh, wait, no, they're back in sync.
It's kind of like a millisecond difference on some of them,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. As long as those red lights go off at the same time, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I eat my words when it comes to us maybe being able to finish this race in time.
You jinxed it. Commentator's
Yeah.
curse.
At least it wasn't a crash, alright?
Okay. And who's that? That's Space Ghost. They've put on wet tyres and they're currently drifting, doing donuts in the pit lane. I'm not sure that's really a productive use of your time for the Red Star team, but I guess you don't really have anything else to do at the moment.
Well, since we have nothing better to do, should we do a bit of product placement?
Product placement for Southwest again.
Ah, yes. You can go get
Oh.
your tickets out of Love Field, guys, in Dallas, Texas. Yes, and then go see the State Fair, which should be opening up very soon. Go see the biggest cowboy in Texas, as Deepon put it.
Yep, the most exciting tourist attraction you could ever think of.
I don't know. This is pretty exciting too. What we're seeing on the screen right now.
Yeah, there's a bit of I don't really know how to describe it, to be honest. There's just
Chaos.
there's a McLaren that's kind of dead.
They're all dying. It seems as though everybody's kind of getting a little impatient now, wondering why we're
Yeah.
not racing.
They want to get going as soon as possible, which is completely understandable. That's what they signed up for. That's why they signed to their respective teams.
And now everybody's sprinting around like a bunch of irritated ants. Oh, we might be having a shutdown. Or, nope, that was just a lie. And somebody's just joined us?
That would be British Kota. Why is British Kota here?
Not sure, but he is muted at the moment. Somebody just took a, okay, they're all taking pace cars now
Uprise
for
out.
some
Oh
reason.
god. Oh, then the safety car.
Why are they taking out the safety cars? I guess we should be expecting a shutdown, huh?
Here is Fernan, one of the only people waiting patiently.
Alright, well, I guess we're just gonna have to entertain ourselves real quick. So let's look around now. Honestly, faster might just be in the creator section, trying to fix it in the game
Yeah.
itself, and then we'll be getting a shutdown. But, I mean, if it's taking this long, it must be a really bad problem. We had this problem back in Great Britain last season. I would have expected there'd be an easy way to fix this. But alas, maybe I'm wrong.
It makes sense. If they've had the problem before, I don't understand why nobody's fixed it.
What happened?
I don't know. And it seems like we're now being joined by the owner of Crank, L'Enfant Greg.
Hello.
Hello.
A silly day it's been.
Yeah, we're not exactly sure what's going on.
Honestly, this is an issue that's persisted ever since we tried to add multiple lights for the back of the grid to see. So, it's very strange. It works on and off, so...
You say it works on and off, and yet this seems to have been the first time this has happened this season, and I only remember it happening.
No. It's happened in GT3 quite often, and it's happened a few times in F2, to my recollection. It's been a few times. I think it's worked more times than it hasn't, but yeah, the issue is really random when it does come up.
Are we muted on the stream?
No, you're here.
No,
Ah.
they'll hear you.
Didn't it happen during the first race in IEC at UAE? Because
It might have.
not it was the test race where it happened. Because Cal got like an amazing jump from like P23 to P5 in the Valor.
Guaranteed slipstream matters more than qualifying position here.
Oh, the trains during qualifying were insane. It was pretty funny.
Honestly, I think people should have got penalised for that. That was stupid.
For waiting and stuff, I mean, you can't blame them. What I thought was really funny and entertaining and pretty cool, how some people in those packs waiting to go, they would fake out the rest of the pack by going forward and then stopping and then making the others go. When I saw Kaikara do it the first time, I was like, man, good job.
It was hilarious. Literally, I think everyone just kept faking it just to get people's reaction.
Yeah, just to get people to go.
I mean, it was stupid. It was like a Tesco's car park.
Can you blame them? They all place so much of an importance on their Slippy. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But Geogsy has currently stolen the safety car and is taking Mr. Cowpox on a joyride.
I feel like a safety car could win this race, not gonna lie. But it looks at how things are going.
They've already managed to rack up to 27 laps.
Hang on. We have an update. Fasta is saying that the estimated time of us racing again will be about 3 minutes.
Okay, but let's apply this to a real-world situation. Belgian Grand Prix 2021. We all know how accurate the estimates were there. However, I don't know with this.
Were they giving estimates, though? They weren't really. They were saying, like...
Hey,
they were just kind of giving...
Where the decision will be made in 10 minutes, and then in 10 minutes there is another weather decision.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We're all muted on the stream. I like how that's... Only Depot is able to talk on the stream.
No, they can hear you, Blade Challenger.
No, stream can hear us.
Really? I can't hear the stream, maybe. That might be why.
We race for nothing. We race for nothing.
Yeah. We're gonna get that a lot.
Yep.
Hello, stream chat. Let's
Hello,
interrupt
guys.
the stream chat.
Let's all thank Deepa Dolphin for a great media job.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
do
That's a
that.
given.
Yep.
Imagine
This
next
is-
season with Clio Cup. I wish.
This is turned from a normal race stream to just a podcast now.
Yeah.
It is the,
The
Ion
Ion
podcast.
Racing podcast.
Apart from it's more
The
official
grid
now.
talk.
Hi,
Yes,
and welcome to
a
the
bring
Iron
back
Racing
Raj.
podcast.
I'm sad that you can't get behind the safer barriers. I'm gonna be honest. Like
What do you
Oh,
mean?
don't
should-
worry.
you
what do you mean?
can't get in the
Riot.
gap. You
If
can't
there's
get
a
in the
will,
gap.
there's a way.
Yo, there is
No.
literally
Yeah,
Riot-
race control graphic. I didn't even know we had that.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
illegal.
Honestly, I'm fairly sure if I was using Sprint, I could have finished the race by now.
No.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Not
do
gonna,
it
not gonna
then.
lie, not gonna lie. They should delay the race just so we can finish our podcast.
No, listen, if you could finish the race
Honestly.
by sprinting, why didn't you?
Because
Exactly.
wow, ready to expose me project.
Not gonna
Deepod, is
lie,
it true you didn't run the intro? Someone's saying that in chat. You guys never
Oh,
played
we
the Ion
definitely
intro.
we definitely ran the intro.
Yeah, I can
Well,
confirm
I'm
that.
expecting you to. Someone else asked, when is Drive to Survive Ion? Well, we
Um,
recorded during the season and a little bit after, and we start editing it when the season's done. So you'll have
I
to wait.
start editing it.
Oh, I think we've just had an announcement from Faster. I don't know what it was.
The server's
Okay.
being reset, so set up
what's
for the
this?
race.
if
Okay.
we're honest, Greg, most of it is recorded after the season.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
All right. Well, I'm gonna head
I
out
think
now.
yeah, everyone's going to the pod.
Project and Blade are gonna go. Thanks for having us for the red flag.
For the Ion podcast.
On
Yeah.
podcast.
The Ion podcast. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
I'll go.
Grid talk, but it's not grid talk.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, see ya.
Goodbye. All right. Hopefully that will be what we needed for this race to continue.
Yep.
I'm gonna update this real quick. Yeah.
All for being on time, JA.
All for being on time. And we're just gonna change those ads real quick.
So if you are now just joining us, we have been on air for the last hour. We did start the race, we got one lap in, and then Faster noticed that the lights weren't in sync properly, so some lights were going out before other lights, or the main lights at the front of the grid. So in that case, we have to red flag and try and sort out the problem out, and then return to
Alright.
the grid and try again, which is what we're going to do now. So thank you for sticking with
Wish
us,
me luck.
everybody.
Wish me luck, Deepod. I'm about to try and reset the camera. Hopefully I don't crash.
So you don't die.
We're good. All right.
Now we'll get some lovely views from the mind of Shay.
Oh, I mean, I don't think it's that good, but you do flatter me.
Hmm.
And it looks like we're gonna need to move the camera.
And the game's been shut down again.
Like, hasn't?
There's British Aviator
we're
kicked
alright.
shut down the game, and I've been kicked from the experience.
Oh, you're on the wrong game.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Okay, so it seems like we're getting ready. Everyone's gridding up. Only a few more people to come out of the pit.
Here comes Lance Stroll. We're still waiting on number 3. It's kind of interesting. I didn't actually mention this on our first race start. Yes, Greg, we see you. Thank you. But Lamborghini is in the 3rd position for qualifying right now, which is really interesting.
Yeah, we've seen high positions for Lamborghini with Lance Stroll, but obviously they're now with Brandstar, and they've qualified at the back of the grid. Fenenjuster really hasn't been that high up before, but maybe, I don't know. This is a very high performance track. You're full throttle for quite a high percentage of the lap. That may just suit Fenenjuster.
All right, and we're back.
Like everyone's been told to jump out and jump back in. Laps have been set. And Faster is telling us to watch the lights yet again. So get ready everybody, here come on the lights if you've got, it's Dakar on pole, Professor Bloxer on the right, and the lights go out very quickly. We're off and away in the USA, coming around turn 1 now. Who's got the better start? What have they learned from the first start? Dakar's coming around on the inside, Fenenjast is moving up. I can see the other pro driver of Melodic Adrian in there as well. Professor Bloxer's really on Dakar's tail in here. I can't see Kai Kara, they got a brilliant start last time out. Here comes the E-Spirit of Jogsy, they've launched quite well. Space Ghost has gotten a good start, and people have gone wide yet again.
Oh no! Oh, the KRs just ran to the wall. That was Mr. Lackey. He's gonna have so much time off now.
Dakar still leads.
Oh man, so many people having some problems on that corner.
Static is saying that Static is leading, Dakar is in second, but I don't believe that for a minute. Kai Kara's managed to gain some positions there, probably in about 5th position at the moment, or maybe even 3rd position. It's really hard to tell.
Let it update real quick, but interestingly enough, Lamborghini's starting to get up ahead as well.
Pro Drive team are doing good. Now coming through Sector 2. We're going to hit the timing line shortly. We'll see the positions update and the gaps between the cars update as well.
All right, here comes Dakar and his group of cars right behind him. They're going to be going to the chicane onto the oval really shortly.
They're forming a massive train here. Kai Kara's made their way up into 2nd place. Dakar has 2 purple sectors. Static's fallen to P11. Fenenjast is still in 3rd. Professor Bloxer 4th. Fernand 5th. F1 Fan 6th. And Melodic Adrian is currently in 7th place. Kai Kara's done a really good job here to try and get up with the Brandstar of Dakar. That's really what he needs if he wants to keep his title chances alive. Interestingly, 2 lines. Dakar nearly goes into the wall there. Kai Kara goes to the left. Which line is going to provide the better speed through this corner? It looks like it may be in Kai Kara's advantage. They're so close together, it's so hard to tell. We're coming into turn 2 very, very shortly at a 180-degree long, or not that long, but sort of medium speed left-hander. They're neck and neck coming through turn 2.
It's so close.
It's so hard to tell. We're going to have to wait until the timing line to see who gets the position. Kai Kara, they both set purple sector 1s. 0.033 seconds separate the 2 title contenders.
This is a fight.
This is... Oh, Kai Kara hits a little bit of the bump there of the service road on the left. That's going to lose him time, but he stays in the race.
so much craziness going on right now. But it seems as though we're still pretty packed up together. However, we're having some drivers fall behind. BMW driver and the KR driver. That's Mr. Lackey's in last
It
place
looks like
right now.
Kaikara got a bit of a better exit. Is Kaikara in the lead of the USGP? We'll just have to wait and see, but it looks like he is. Car 86 ahead of car number 1. Will Kaikara have a good chance at winning this race? He's in the lead by 0.3 of a second. Then it's Fenenjaster, Professor Bloxer, Donza Hayek, Indominus Rex and F1 Fan sharing position 6. Melodic Adrian in 8th, Fernand in 9th, and Aviate on Chad for McLaren is rounding out the top 10 currently. Mr. Lackishot, 17 seconds behind the leader. That's going to be a lot more. That's now 19.3 seconds behind the leader. His teammate, Mr. Lackishot, really not doing a very good job on debut for KR Racing.
Oh no, Kaikara goes wide!
He
It's
went
gonna give
deep!
the push he needs.
But he will get the DRS.
On this curve section, let's see how much benefit that actually does on him.
It was a 1
We've
second
already
gap at
we've
the start
already
finish
had
line.
a disconnect. We have already had a disconnect. Lamborghini driver is off already. Christian or something. I can't remember his
Yeah,
name.
Christian
completely.
09 is out of the race.
He's going to fall back harsh. But we can also see Landstroid now in 17th. He started in about 22nd position. He's been able to get 5 points up. We'll see how many he gets at the end of this race, though.
Professor
Lamborghini's
Bloxer.
in 3rd right now.
Professor Bloxer running 5th. Fenenjaster just set a purple sector 1 for Aston Martin. Project User, their teammate, is currently running in 14th position. It's a very interesting top 3.
They are really pushing these cars to the limits on this track. This track is all about the speed.
On board here with Kaikara, it looks as if going through the middle sector, Kaikara has an advantage. He goes off slightly. He goes into the gravel trap.
Oh, he goes
Is he going to
very
keep it?
off.
Oh, he goes so far off. He's lost P2. He's lost P3. He's lost P4. He's down into 5th position.
He's going to have to catch up harsh. Oh, Fenenjaster kind of goes wide, goes into the sand trap. He's going to fall behind too, and now he's going to be P5.
It's these silly mistakes that Kaikara can't afford to have if he wants to win the title. But he has made 2 of them so far this race, and that's put him into 4th position, 3.2 seconds behind Dakar already.
No, there's a spin. It's a pro drive.
Is
Right
that
off the
Professor
chicane.
Bloxer? That's Melodic Adrian.
Oh, it's a good thing he was able to control that car, or else that would have been catastrophic for Pro Drive's first race. Oh,
Are they
man,
still in the
with that,
points, however?
Dakar is now just running away with it now with all those mistakes on that second sector.
He set the fastest lap of the race, 2.4 seconds to the car behind, which is now Donza Hayek for Audi. Professor Bloxer runs 3rd. That fastest lap is snatched off of Dakar, however, to Static 5, who is currently in 13th place.
He's definitely trying to catch up after that horrible accident he had at the beginning of the race.
Kaikara has
It's a good
Professor
thing-
Bloxer on his tail because he just got past him up into 3rd position. Kaikara's going to want to chase down the Czechia, not Slovakian, that's an old country. The Czechian, is that how you say it?
The Czech?
The Czech. There you go. Got there eventually. The Czech of Dancer Hayek with Dakar only a little bit further ahead. It's pretty even now. 2 seconds between Dakar and Dancer Hayek. 2 seconds between Dancer Hayek and Kaikara, or 1.5 if you count the decimals.
I'm a little interested in how this is going to go because, I mean, I was going to say before, Static must be thanking his lucky stars that we had that red flag because if you don't remember, he had that U-turn crash that completely destroyed his car, and if we had continued racing, he would have been out in not even the first lap. Oh, hang on a second, I see a front wing on the field. That looks to be a BMW wing.
A BMW wing. Let's have a look through the BMWs. Let's look at Real Rick Astley. They have a front wing. Let's have a look at Indominus Rex. They have a front wing, so that must have been from a while ago. Real Rick Astley is 60 seconds behind the leader, 30 seconds down, so that might be Real Rick Astley's wing. He's obviously come into the pits and got that changed.
That would probably be it then. Looks like they were able to do that ahead of time, before we even noticed it.
Static just set a purple sector 2. Fenenjaster is in 4th, Fernand 5th, Indominus Rex 6th. Professor Bloxer down to 7th.
And here we go.
You can see just how far ahead here in this shot Dakar is. He's got such a big lead on the other cars. You can't even see the cars behind. He's got such a big lead. 4.3 seconds
that's
now.
At least. Yeah, I was about to say that's at least 4 to 6 seconds of a lead.
If Kaikara was hoping to try and get ahead of Dakar here, then he did it at the beginning, but he really... those mistakes he made on lap 2 really haven't helped him at all.
Not only that, but... Oh, we have a spin! We have a spin! Mummy
That's
just
Mummy
spinned
for
off that
Uprise! Why are they not...
He's gonna fall
Are they going
behind
again?
a lot.
Oh, they are going again. It looked like they weren't going for a while.
Here comes the P2 end up going across the chicane. Seems as though they do very well going through this time. No, there's another crash! Red Star!
That's
Red Star's out! That's
Space Ghost! Space Ghost is out of the race!
Oh, and we might have freeze.
A little bit of a freeze. That definitely happened. If this is a server crash, that happened way before the server crash, so Space Ghost will not be allowed to rejoin the race.
It might be it. Yep, there it
It
is.
is. So that is another server crash to go into Ion's infamous history of not being able to continue for an entire race. Conspiracy theory time, ladies and gents. Space Ghost crashes. Boom. Server crash. What are we thinking?
I'm not sure. We'll have to see what happens, but that is some improvement in a lot of people, and it'll definitely be better for them.
This is definitely going to be very good for Kaikara because that might give him another chance to try and get a jump on Dakar because these points really matter now. The gaps between them is only about 20 points in the championship, so Dakar has a real good chance of getting the lead of the championship at today's race.
All right, well, let's see what happens now. Oh, that's a DNF. Fastest calling it.
Well, I would protest it even if it wasn't a DNF. That is a DNF.
Hopefully that'll be the only crash we have. However, now that I'm thinking about it, 5 laps, no, 24. What did we get at Hungary? What was it, like 11 of 42?
Yeah,
How
we're
many did we
getting the
have during
same
Hungary?
amount here. We're getting like a
That's
fifth
kind
out
of-
of here. We got a quarter out of Hungary. It's getting smaller every time.
Kind of suspect. I'm not sure what Fast is going to choose when it comes to Breezy, or Space Ghost, and his crash.
That should be a DNF in my opinion because we very, very clearly saw on stream that his wheels were lost and he was not able to drive the car whilst the server was still running.
Right. Oh, shoot. I almost forgot.
So I don't think the Red Star should be allowed to rejoin the race. And if if Space Ghost is allowed to rejoin the race, then that's a very, very lucky miss.
I think Fast has chosen not to, but we'll see.
Okay. We'll just have to wait and see what Red Star do, send out the driver or not.
See how many it takes before we lose our minds.
Saw some lovely Southwest sponsorship being added to the track, courtesy of Cheyenne.
Yes. Don't forget to get your tickets. I'm gonna tell you, after COVID hits, you guys are going to go places.
It's just me, or does the care not actually have a grid slot?
Yeah, Festa probably has to update the grid section, get it edited again.
Oh yeah, I think that's what he's doing now.
Oh, was there a ProDrive crash as well? I didn't even see that.
What's there? I was so
I'm
focused on
seeing a
that battle
GIF.
at the front.
I'm seeing a GIF of a crash from ProDrive. We'll have to see how many people actually grid up to see what they choose. But based on what I'm seeing, there might have been a ProDrive crash.
Oh, I see that now as well.
Oh, no, there was a ProDrive. Yeah, it was in the. We didn't even see it because it was so quick. But it seems as though Melodic actually crashed because I'm seeing him in 20 seconds being disconnected from that results before the crash. So that's already one ProDrive driver out of the race. And it all rests yet again on Professor Bloxer.
If I can get a little shot of this here. Give me 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. I have got a clip here of the little incident with the ProDrive. Does this work? Oh, it's quite small. Let me just make that a bit bigger for you. Worked really well, didn't it? Right. Loop it. There we go. There you go. That's what happened with the ProDrive.
Well, how many people actually crashed out? I don't think even I know.
Oh wait, there was a disconnect that we saw. And then there's this ProDrive crash, and then there's the Red Star as well.
Alright, both Aston Martins are here. I'm seeing an Audi. I'm not seeing the other Audi. Where is Static? He might still need to be on the grid. So who are we missing? We're missing a Lamborghini. We're missing a ProDrive. We're missing a Red Star. I believe that's it.
I'm going to go with your word, because I'm not entirely sure. I'm just trying to analyse this replay here of what happened to the ProDrive. Seems to have just lost, took the wrong line at the chicane, lost it over the curbs, and slid out into the wall. Now you can see, bump over the chicane, got loads of air.
That's about the same place where Space Ghost crashed as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Very good job of avoiding that crash from the E-Spirit, I'm assuming, Brandstar and McLaren drivers. Yeah, he got his full rear end off the ground. No wonder he
Yeah.
lost the traction. Seems as though everybody's on the grid now. Just waiting on Fast to give the go-ahead for the continuation of the race. Yellow flag.
And 19 laps to go on the clock. Well, technically it's not a clock, it's a lap counter, but you know what I mean.
Waiting on the green. Oh, looks like they're doing the jump in and out real quick. Okay, is everybody on the grid?
Takara and Fernandosta seem to be moving around. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
they're going to need to move. Do we have the right amount of people in the grid?
I can't see any empty spots.
Oh, let me check real quick. We have 19. That should be enough.
Okay, and we've been told to watch the lights, everybody, so get ready because they're coming on. Dakar on the left, this time it's done to Hayek on the right, and we're off and away again in the United States of America, coming round turn 1 instantly. It's a very short run to the line because the line is at the start of the corner. Round to the left we go with Kai Kera, who seems to have managed to get a blistering start up into the lead already. It's 3 abreast round the corner. You've got Dakar on the inside, which switches to Fernan. Kai Kera's going round the outside there as well. Has anyone gone deep? It's hard to see. There's a red star. A red star's gone deep.
Red Star off, BMW off. They're going to fall behind exceptionally. Dakar's not completely in the lead. I'm seeing a Pro drive, a BMW, a KRR, an Audi. They're all fighting for it, but it seems as though he's able to get ahead now off of that straight, going into the road course. Oh, but it's hard to tell.
Through.
It is so hard to tell, though, because you have so much lag when it comes to these drivers. You're not able to... Oh, hang on. Pro drive's in front. Pro drive's in front. That's Professor.
How has
But it's
Professor
gonna
got
go-
up there already?
I don't know, but we also have a BMW. I'm going to assume that's Indominus.
Yes, it is. This is a crazy restart.
Here we go. Alright, now let's watch that chicane real quick. We've seen 2 drivers already crash on it. Let's see who's the next victim.
See them coming right now. Dakar's got back into the lead, but Professor Brooks has got up there. Kai Karen and Dominus
There
Rex
it
are
is!
showing
There it
position.
is!
Kai Kara's
Kara's
out of the
crashed!
race! Kai Kara is out of the race! This is going to
out on
be
the
no
output
points for Kai Kara today. Dakar has a brilliant chance now to take the lead of the championship.
Oh my goodness, this is insane. And then you have Lakis, who's not going to be able to get any points probably in this race. That is KR literally losing all of its chance at points.
This is the last thing that the team needed today. They knew that they could probably beat Dakar and Canada next weekend, but they needed a good points lead today. And they're not going to get it. Kai Kara is out of the race.
You know what? I'm just going to shut my mouth because the moment I say something, it just seems to just come true.
Oh, that is...
McLaren slipping on the sand. He's going to fall behind. Oh no, and Aston Martin's going to fall behind as well.
Project User, and there's a bit of a freeze, but we're still going.
Oh,
Project User's going to be falling down the order.
I think that's now last for Project User and Aston Martin. Yeah, he's going to be in last right now. A lot of people going in the grass off of this straight. What in the world?
Now approaching the chicane with Dakar. You'll see in the background shortly. This is not what Kai Kara will want to be watching right now. And there goes Kai Kara off into the barrier. The championship leader may not be the championship leader after today at all.
It's exceptionally heartbreaking for KRR, especially after this reset. They were doing really well as well. They were up in the top 3 in that reset on the grid. And now they're all of their chances of getting in that top position have gone down the drain.
Yeah.
All these drivers need to start being careful in that chicane. They cannot take any chances anymore. Because the moment they do, they're screwed.
Yeah, it's now becoming the chicane from Greece. Who's going to DNF this time in Season 3?
No. This isn't even the chicane from Greece. This is the chicane from France.
Oh. it's even worse. Oh, Dakar went quite tight out of there. Look, it just went a little bit
To be
squiggly on the
fair-
rear end.
Actually, to be fair, you might be right about the Greece one, because the Greece chicane was a lot more high speed, and then the France one was difficult because of walls. However,
Yeah.
this one is definitely difficult due to the speed and the irregularity in the angles.
And the curbs. If you tap a curb with one of your rear wheels, you're spinning round and you're in the wall. Once
Yeah.
you touch a curb, you're a passenger at that point.
Not to mention, the moment you exit out of there, you're getting your DRS, and thus losing a lot of your downforce as well.
Someone to talk about is the uprise of Mummy. They've just got up to 5th, and they've got the fastest lap. Where on earth does that come from?
Is this the redemption arc of Uprise? Are we seeing this at America?
I don't know. It is the team's home race. The team so far, it's round 7, and they haven't scored any points. Mummy's in 5th, sharing it, or 4th, sorry, sharing it with Professor Bloxer. Where is Real Miggy Cool at 97, 13th, no points for Miggy as things stand, but their new driver seems to be doing quite well.
What happened to Jogsy? I don't think I saw him crash.
They DNF'd. Or crashed and
was
then
it a
DNF'd,
disconnect?
I'm not sure.
We'll have to check after the race, or, during the race, see if anybody's got any info on Jogsy. Hopefully
The
he's
Uprise
alright.
is up to 2nd!
Uprise is... Oh, it's happening. It's happening.
Oh, but this is a tight battle between the Uprise and the Aston Martin and the Audi and the ProDrive and the BMW, for that matter, of Indominus Rex.
Oh no, ProDrive slipped a bit. He's gonna fall back. He's gonna have to lose a bit of speed before, so he doesn't lose control. He's gonna fall back a little bit. Hopefully he'll be able to catch that up on this next DRS zone.
This
the
is
DRS
such
zones
a
are so
close
big.
battle.
Somebody on the road course, if somebody's pitting and somebody's behind them on the road course, I feel like they'd actually be able to catch up to them because of how fast these sections are.
It's a very good point you're making there. 20 seconds-ish for a pit stop on average, and if you've got DRS, you can get around there quite quickly.
That's true. So even with this crazy gap between Dakar and the rest of the field, one pit stop could change that completely. Oh, I just saw somebody else go in the sand. I think that was Finn.
I've just looked in media submissions. We have footage from Dino Only Jacob of a Jogsy crash. I'm going to see if I can get that open for anybody.
Oh, please do. I'll keep watching.
It's quite hard to download. I will, hang on. Let me just figure this out.
Hernan still fighting with the Uprise team. Seems though Audi's going to be able to try and get up ahead as they go to the S corners. Oh, it's a tight battle, though. I can't tell who's going to come out of that. It seems as though it might be Dansahagen. Although, now nope, still him. He's still up there, although the ProDrive is trying to make a move as they go into the chicane of death.
Is that the new name for it?
I think that's the only name for it.
Very fitting. Okay, right, let's have a look. I'm going to try drag this into our media folder here for you so that we can watch it together.
Alright, Dakar's going across the corner. We're about to start lap 5. Let us hope we continue lap 5.
And there goes Kaikara watching
Here's
right
the
now.
footage
And
of
there
the
goes
Jogsy
Kaikara
crash.
off into the barrier. The championship leader may not be the championship leader after watching right now. And there goes Kaikara off into the barrier.
You see it?
Championship leader may not be the championship leader after watching right now. And there goes Kaikara off into the barrier.
I don't see it.
The
I can see it.
championship leader may not be the championship leader after watching right
I
now.
think somebody just
And
fell
there
back.
goes
I think that was the
Kaikara
Uprise
off
driver that just fell back a
into
bit.
the barrier.
Nope,
We
nope,
just have
that
to
was
do a
his
little bit of
teammate.
analysis on that one later. I can't actually see anything there, but we'll keep going. We'll find out about this after the race in our highlight reels,
well,
which you can watch by subscribing to the
Maybe it
channel.
was a disconnect. Maybe it was a disconnect if that's the case.
Oh,
unless
okay.
they said
That
it
would make
crashed.
sense.
Man, look at that gap. That is a huge gap between the second place driver and Dakar. I can't even see him on the screen. There he is.
4 seconds. It's what he managed to do last time before the server died. So he's pretty much gaining just under a second a lap at this rate.
I mean, he's going to need all the time he can get before that pit stop starts to happen. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we at least get a pit stop for this race because we do
Yeah.
not want another Hungary.
No. No, we do not indeed. Coming through the chicane of death, as it's now been called. Everyone here in this little train getting through safely.
All right, looks like everybody's starting to take that a little more carefully now after seeing all the drivers that completely lost it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Space Ghost, Melodic Adrian, and Kaikara. You have now made that area so much more difficult.
As Mummy is now the person leading the little train here, the uprise. They're side by side with Dancer Hayek coming into turn 1. There's a big bunch up from the Pro Drive and the Aston Martin and the BMW. They're literally in the exact same point on the track at the exact same time. It matters who gets the better exit, and it looks to be a Pro Drive.
That's
Or an
Professor.
Audi.
He's showing it. He's fighting with his own old teammate, Ferdinand.
Look how close this battle is. This is insane. And yeah, Professor Biloxa has won it for now, but Mummy says no. I want that position, so the Uprise is going to fight it back as hard as they can.
A huge gap between Takara and the other drivers. That's now 6 seconds of a gap.
6 seconds on lap 6, so it pretty much is now a second a lap. So I think I can see here P2 of Professor Blocks all the way down to P7 of Critical Noob are on the exact same part of the track at the exact same time. This is an incredible battle for P2 that stretches all the way down to P7.
So we have a battle for P2, but we also have a battle for P8 if you can't tell. Because we have 2 McLarens, E-Spirit, and Craig, and right behind him is going to be Landstroid and the Brandstar. They're going to be trying to fight it out as well. And here they come down the chicane again. They get a little swirly, but they're able to be okay. I'm going to watch these McLarens real quick. I saw one of them go into the grass, so if anybody's going to make a mistake, I assume it's going to be one of them. Nope, they get through fine.
Seems to be pretty slick now. Everyone's sort of got their lesson.
Seems to be finally a bit of clean racing. But man, look at that lead. Decare's just still going away with it. He's getting even more time.
I don't think there's really going to be a battle for the lead anymore in today's race, especially after what happened with Kai Kara.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. We still have more than half the race to go. Well, actually, yeah, no, I think we still have about half the race to go, right?
Yeah, but I think we do. The battle's definitely the most exciting battle. Definitely is for second place. 6.8 seconds behind the leader, down to 7.3. That's half a second separating 5 cars.
And they got Critical Noob catching up to them as well, if you haven't noticed.
There, you can just see the red star in the back of your shot there.
And let's go back to this P8 battle real quick. It seems as though a lot of people have come together now. Finn and Jaster's now getting into the fray. That's going to be a 6-way battle now.
There's another train. There's 2 little trains just chugging their way around the track. Ace is the conductor of one of them, and Professor Bloxer is the conductor of the other.
But hold up, Miggy wants a piece. He's about to get over there in that P8 train.
Yep, you can see them approaching at the back of the shot as well. They're just
what
going to
happened
keep...
to Project User? He fell behind so hard.
Yeah. They did a little spin at the start, I believe.
That's true. I'm surprised it got him so much time off.
Something else might have happened as well. You've got to keep that in mind. Can't always see everything.
That is true. Alright, and here comes the P8 battle through the chicane of death.
And nobody died.
Nobody died. Although a bump on those bankings might cause somebody to make a mistake. We'll have to see. Seems like they take it pretty well, though. Pretty clean racing so far.
I think F1 Fan is now the conductor of the P8 train. Dancer Hayek is now the conductor of the P2 train.
Oh man, look at that gap from first to second now. It's already 7.5 seconds.
It's nearly 8. It's getting so big. Dakar just has such a big pace advantage. He has the fastest lap. He's winning at the moment. There's not really much else that he can do.
Ooh! McLaren went on the inside, on the infield, got a lot of traction loss. He's going to fall back a little bit. It's interesting that Dakar's got so much time. He's going to need that advantage on time when it comes to these pit stops. Because if he
Yeah.
does a pit stop a little earlier than Danzahajic will be your race leader.
Well, if we look at Dakar here, he currently has the hard compound tyre on. It's predicted that these tyres will last anywhere between 13 and 16 laps. We're currently 8 laps into the restart, so we could be seeing Dakar coming into the pits within the next 5 laps.
Are you telling me Dakar's been running
Dakar
them hard this whole
slides! That was a
time?
massive drift! Where on earth did that come from?
I think those tires are starting to fall out now. I think he's starting to not like those tires anymore, or that was just a mistake. It's interesting, he's been able to get so much of a gap on these guys in the second place train, and yet Danzahajic's here on mediums.
I don't understand how this is possible. How is this physically possible?
Tokyo Drift.
Okay, well,
Inertia
here
drift.
is a slow
Inertia
motion
drift.
of that drift from Dakar.
You know, he thinks he's still in Formula Drift, he's trying to get some points with the judges. But he's still gonna go off on those. He's still gonna go off on those tires. Luckily, it happened in that section where there wasn't much of a chance to crash the car out. But you know, I think he's gonna want to start being a little more careful with that car now.
Indominus Rex is right on Dancer Hayek's tail as they come across the line, and Mummy is the first person to come into the pits and Uprise. What tyre are they going on to?
Oh, speaking of Uprise, one of them just spun out on that final chicane section. That's Mickey.
Mummy
He's gonna
goes to
fall
the
back over whip.
hards.
So he's going to be the first person to pit. So Mummy pits. Real Miggy just had a crazy spin right before that straight. Both Uprises are kind of not in good positions now. They're going to lose that slipstream. They're so far behind now that they're going to lose slipstream. Everybody else is going to be able to get some points ahead of them. Even though their tires are a little worn, they're going to be able to get that slipstream and stay ahead. Hopefully it works out for them. Dakar going into the crash.
Yeah, something interesting here, however, Mummy has been proven to be good in that P2 battle. They have the freshest tyres in the field. Dakar does another drift. Is he doing this intentionally?
I think he's trying to lose some of that tire wear so he gets a better pit stop, but I don't understand why that would be a strat, to be fair. I don't know.
Why would you intentionally lose tyre wear or increase your tyre wear?
Look at that. I think he's showing off. Look at that advantage of time he has right now.
Yeah. Well, he's got to be careful because if he shows off too hard, then he could be going into a barrier and ending his race and ending the potential to take the lead of the Formula 1 World Championship. Going back to what I was saying about the uprise of Mummy, they've been proven to be good in that P2 battle. They've got the freshest tyres in the field. If they can get these to turn on real quick, they may actually be able to reduce the gap between themselves and Dakar. It's currently 36 seconds.
Alright, I'm starting to think
35
Dakar's
seconds.
mental now. I think Dakar's insane now. He still hasn't pit.
It's 10 laps.
Well, like, what is their strategy? Are they going to go on lap 10, do a half pit, or are they just going to run those tires as far as they can? Does Dakar know when his tires are going to run out?
No, I hope he does.
Can he call it? Can he call it by the time it does so he gets the best advantage? Or, I don't know what their plan is, to be fair. I'm not there for
Professor Bloxer just took the inside line there through turn 2. Seems like he may have got a bit of a better exit. They're side by side with Dancer Hayek here, coming into turn number 4. Out of turn 3, round to the left in turn 5. Dancer Hayek keeps that position, second position for the Audi, but they go onto the grass. That's not going to give them any time at all. That gives Professor Bloxer an excellent opportunity to get the slipstream behind the Audi, have the better pace advantage, and try and get ahead. It looks like they may have managed to get a move done. They're neck and neck coming through the middle sector, and they're pretty much shared on positions here. 11.204, 11.304 for the two cars, and it looks like Dancer Hayek nearly went out onto the grass again. This battle is so intense for second place on the podium.
A little update, Dakar did not drift on that corner this time. It seems as though he's had his fun.
Dakar has been told, probably been told by the Brand Star engineers to behave.
He's been told to calm down.
Calm down, act mature, get these points because we want the
Don't
points.
give us a heart attack.
As Dakar now rounds the final banked corner, coming into the chicane here. Is he going to come into the pits? No.
He's still out. He's still going out. He's in those tires until they're bare.
Well, no one else is pit. The only other person that's pitted is Mummy, and they've gone to hard tyres.
We haven't seen yet. We haven't seen yet. Oh, you spoke a little too soon there, my friend. That is now 3
Hayek's in the
drivers going
pits.
into the pit.
Professor Brox is in the pits. Fans in the pits. These 3 are battling for P2. If someone here can get a much better exit than one of the other drivers, then they could easily switch positions here. It was Dance, Professor, and Fernand. What's the order coming out? Professor Brox gets a much quicker pit stop there, and seems to be ahead of Fernand. Or is Fernand ahead? It's really hard to see. This is Dancer Hayek now coming out. Dancer Hayek keeps the position, but did Professor Brox and Fernand switch around? I think they did.
I think real Rick Astley might be able to get some advantage. He's going to be right behind Dakar. When he gets into the slipstream, he might be able to get the slipstream off Dakar and try to catch up with some of these drivers. Although we'll have to see. Anyways, going out of the pits is Crate, E-Spirit, and McLaren. They're going to be falling back a considerable amount. We'll be able to see if they can catch up. I can't even tell who's in the lead right now.
Indominus Rex holds second place, but the train has completely disintegrated because everyone decided to split up and disembark.
Yeah, and that 13-second difference now is going to be insane. Did Indominus pit? I don't think he did, right?
No, Indominus and Critical Noob have not come into the pits yet.
So they're in the same situation as Dakar right now. So if Dakar pits and they pit, it'll still be that same amount, but we might see Dancer Hayek come back into the fray.
I'm just looking at the timing tower here. Dancer Hayek is 35.55 seconds behind the leader. He was about 10 seconds behind the leader, Dakar, when he came into the pits. That's 25 seconds lost. What's it going to look like? Mummy and Dancer Hayek are so close together. This seems to be a good strategy idea from Uprise. Where are these drivers going to come out?
BMW is not pitting. Indominus is not going to pit.
Indominus is still going. Critical Noob comes in. Indominus Rex takes the lead of the USGP.
That is a BMW in the lead. That is insane. I have not seen that in a while.
How long is it going to take Dakar to catch up, however? Let's see where Dancer Hayek is.
Hang on a second. Indominus is about to lap his own driver, his own teammate. It's like maybe a 10-second difference, but Real Rick Astley is in last right now, and he's about to be lapped.
It's definitely not something good for your CV, I will be honest. Just waiting for the gap here to update between Dakar and the Audi. That gap's now gone down to 3 seconds. Mr. Lackershot for KRR is now into the pits. I want to see what this gap comes down to, but the timing line just won't come quick enough.
Uh-oh.
Still going.
Oh, we're good. Okay, yeah, we're good. I'll get a little...
Oh my god,
we have another server...
They're 15 seconds down on Dakar.
Oh man, Dakar's actually catching up to Indominus so hard right now. Oh my goodness.
Indominus Rex hasn't done the P2 train much favours here, to be honest, because all he's managed to do is give Dakar a slipstream to get past the BMW car.
He's knocking, and he welcomes him in. That is first place again for Dakar.
Dakar takes the lead once again. Indominus Rex now a second behind in the space of one corner. I think the BMW may be coming now. Hopefully.
Seems as though Dancer Hayek. I guess we call him Dancer Hayek. All right. Dancer Hayek's going to be in third place now. Right behind him is going to be Mum, and then Fen and Jester. Some of these lesser teams are actually starting to get a bit of an edge.
No, that won't be Fen and Jester. Fen and Jester is disconnected.
So. Wait, who is that thing? Oh, that's an Aston Martin. I'm just mistaken. Okay, so that means Lamborghini's out of the race.
Fernand.
Fernand's going to be up ahead. Over Professor Bloxer, who's going to be right behind him, I might add.
And Indominus Rex does come into the pits, and they put on a nice set of soft tyres. I can see what BMW are trying to do there.
Well, he's going to fall back a lot now. Hopefully, I'm not sure how many more pit stops we're going to be seeing during this race. We only have 7 laps left. But Dakar's just going to run away with it at this rate.
He's already setting PBs. It's a green Sector 1 for the Brandstar driver.
And then here comes Dancer Hayek. And the other ones, Aston Martin, Fernand, Mum, Professor, Critical Noob. They're going to be making a new train. Now, actually, they're a little too separated to be making that train yet. But we see a bit of one between Fernand and Mum. And then another one between Professor and Critical Noob.
We can see they're itching to make a train, but they're just too far away at the moment.
Yeah, they're trying for something. If we look back a little bit, we see Real Rick. Is that Real Miggy? Yeah, Real Miggy is going to be in 11th. It's a bit of a fight between him and Lastroid in the Brand Star, which is 12th right now. It's less than a second difference between them. We'll see what happens later in this race. Lastroid was able to get from 22nd all the way up to 12th, but I'm not sure how many more points he's going to be able to take up because I don't think Real Miggy is going to give him any leg room. Not only that, but Aviation Chad. Where was Aviation Chad during the beginning of this race? Wasn't he in like 5th or something?
I think so. McLaren did a
he's now
rather
in
good
third.
qualifying.
Well, he's in 13th now, so he wasn't able to keep up that pace. However, his teammate, Mr. Macho Globe, is going to be fighting a bit with Acer in the E-Spirit for that 9th place.
Dante Hajek really seems to be getting a good lead on Fernand here. It's now 2 seconds to, 1.5 seconds now between the Audi and the Aston Martin as Critical Noob in the Red Star takes the fastest lap of the race. And Mummy is still inside the points, unlike his teammate, Real Miggy
my
Coolgate.
goodness, the Care almost scraped that wall, and I was about to have another heart attack. But he was able to make the pass on Real Rick Ashley, now lapping him.
Okay, so that's 1 car lap so far with 4 and a bit laps to go, I think.
Well, I mean, he's pretty far behind because Mr. Lancashire has at least a 20-second gap between him.
Fernand has
So
a
I don't think
purple
we're gonna
sector
see-
1.
I don't think we'll be seeing any, crazy lap. We're going to see any more lappings, I would assume, unless one of these lower drivers does a pit stop. But I feel like they've all done their pit stops already.
Yeah, I think everyone has done at least 1 pit stop.
What's this fight going on? It's the Craig, McLaren, and E-Spirit. It seems as though there's now a fight for 8th place because the Craig is about to get passed by either the E-Spirit or the McLaren.
F1 fans seems to be holding their ground. For now, I'd say, at least.
Or now. And look at the gap from 1st to 2nd. It's getting even bigger.
18.5 seconds now. For some reason, Dakar disconnects from the race! There's a yellow
What?
flag! Dakar must have crashed somewhere! A yellow flag's been triggered and it's gone to green! Dakar's probably rage quitted! Dakar is out of the USGP! The 2 title
That is
contenders
insane.
have DNF'd in the same race!
So that means Dance Hajek might actually be able to get a win for Audi. This is the first time Audi might be able to get a win. This is insane. Everybody's going to be running for it now.
The gap for the lead is 0.2 seconds. Dance versus Fern versus Critical Noob. This has suddenly become one of the most exciting races of the season.
This is insane. Who's going to win now? It is anywhere between Aston Martin, Red Star, and Audi. Any of
Don't
them
know.
could win. Not only that, but ProDrive and Uprise right behind them.
I am
And we
baffled.
only have 5 laps.
What is... Fernand takes the lead. What is happening?
No, Critical Noob's in the lead.
Well, it says on the timing tower Fernand's in the lead. Who do we believe? Do we believe our
right
eyes
now,
or do we
I'm-
believe
oh, no,
the maths?
Hang on. Fernand's passing now. He's able to get in the lead for now, but we'll see what happens with this turn. Whoever takes this corner better is going to be able to get in the lead.
That is Dakar,
But
ladies
even
and
then,
gents.
the S corners.
The person who was in the lead of the race and has now joined his team on the pit wall to try and support Lance Droid home. That DNF for Dakar has given Lance Droid 1 position, which will help, I think. Maybe trying to get into the points.
Well, I mean, we'll see if he's able to. He might be able to pass Real Miggy and get into 10th position, at least getting 1 point. We'll have to see.
And
That's
Dante
insane,
Hayek
though.
leads again. The lead has gone between 3 drivers in the space of 1 lap alone. This is going down to the line, I tell you. Fernand's fallen back. Something must have happened to the Aston Martin because they're now fighting with Professor Bloxer. But if Fernand, Professor Bloxer, even Mummy, maybe even Indominus Rex, if they really get their mojo on in these last 4 laps, there's a win coming for one of them.
This is the first time in a while Kakir and Dakar have made mistakes on these tracks.
I'm trying to think.
That is
Was it?
insane.
No, it wasn't Greece.
It was France.
It was
It was
France
France
season
last
3,
season.
the last time that they both DNF'd.
And we haven't seen Dakar crash at any of these tracks since he was here in France. So France, Great Britain, Hungary, he never crashed. And yet now is the time where he actually crashed, even though he was doing so well on those hard tires. What in the
Maybe
world
he was
happened?
just trying to drift again.
I don't know about that. We'll have to see. I'm sure he has a replay. Man, this is just a Lewis Hamilton Max Verstappen.
Oh, I think
Except they didn't crash at the same
courtesy
time.
of Prime Drifter, Faster has just shared what I believe to be a replay of Dakar's crash. We can try and have a look.
McLaren and Easter. It seems as though there's now a fight for 8th place because the Craig is about to
Look at that.
break McLaren and
Oh
Easter.
my
It seems as though
goodness,
there's now
it
a
was
fight
the
for 8th
chicane
place
of death.
because the Craig is about to break
Even
McLaren
Dakar is
and
vulnerable
Easter. It seems
to
as
the
though there's now a
chicane
fight
of
for
death.
8th place because
Look
the
at
Craig
that.
is about to break.
And not only that, but we could see another one.
Getting too crazy on that chicane will give you problems. It is not forgiving. Alright, so that means that some of the best drivers on this race so far have been taken out by that thing. I mean, you had
Well,
a
if
lot of
Dakar's been
Adrian got taken
by
out.
it, who can't?
Kaikner's been taken out. Dakar's been taken out. Space Ghost was taken out. However, Critical New may be able to take his energy and take it to the finish line because right now he's still in 2nd place.
This is going to be an insane finish to what has become an insane race.
Hopefully we don't get a crash. Or else we're going to get half points yet again. But it seems as though we've been running pretty well on this race so far. We've already gotten pretty far. I would see no reason for it to happen. Hang on a second. I wasn't looking. Landstroid actually got into 10th. What happened to Miggy?
I don't know. What I do know, however, is that we've got this other little onboard POV from Dakar. So we can see exactly what happened. They just caught the curb there.
Yep, the curb yet again. That takes some pretty precise angle. I feel like he probably should have taken that a little more leniently, but I mean, that's how it is.
Well, that's how it's ended up.
Well, yeah, I mean, Kaikira made the same mistake. Even the best drivers are not
They're
invulnerable
susceptible
the
to
rules
these
of the race.
chicanes of deaths.
And they're not invulnerable. They
Professor
make mistakes like all
Bloxer-
other drivers.
I said they might want to get their mojo on, and they certainly have. They've managed to put their Pro Drive P2 on debut, not only for the team, but also for the driver with the team. What
It's gonna
is
be great to
happening
see
here?
Hey, it'll be great to see an Uprise driver finally get some points, especially on their home track.
Well, we can see Critical Noob here. We can see Mummy here. They're a bit behind. They've only got 2 laps to try and catch up. I'm not sure if this is
About
really
3.
gonna... Okay, I'm sorry. This is about to get insane. This is about to get insane. Professor Bloxer with Pro Drive on debut today is half a second behind the leader of the race. Something must have happened to the tyres on Danza Hayek because he's dropping like a fly to the train for P2. Fernand gets second, Professor Bloxer gets third. 0.4 seconds separate the top 3, 1.3 seconds separate the top 4. I'm sure Fexagan's going absolutely mental right now. Professor Bloxer has a chance for a win on the team's debut.
That would be great for them. I mean, Water Department and Fexon were trying to get this team to get points during the beginning, and if Professor Bloxer gets that win, that is going to be great for them. Pro Drive might
Danza
actually be able to
Hayek
secure that
spins!
victory.
He's out of contention for the win!
That's insane! That is horrible for Audi. They're going to fall back so far.
Danza Hayek can no longer win this race. It's looking like a podium
Which
for
means-
Fernand, Professor Bloxer or Critical.
It's going to be a Pro Drive. It's a Pro Drive in the lead right now. 2
But
laps to go.
oh my god, I'm literally losing my mind. This could change so quickly. But as things
This could
stand,
change
Professor
everything.
Bloxer for Pro Drive on the team's debut race leads the Grand Prix.
This could change literally everything. Not only the fact that KR is not getting the points, Brandstar is probably not going to get too many points, maybe 1 point, but Audi might be able to get some points. They might actually be able to take that lead bet for the Constructors' Championship. But not only that, this is going to secure ProDrive's ability to stay in. And not only
This is
that,
the
but
slow-mo
Uprise might be
replay
able
of
to
Dante
score
Hayek. They
too.
just lost it on the grass.
What in the world is going on?
I'm sorry, let's switch back to the real world. Professor Bloxer and Fernand are shared on the timing line. They're equal, dead on. What is happening?
Critical Noob's still on there with them as well in the Red Star. This is going to be great points for Red Star as well. I bet E-Slider's just really happy with his performance.
Yes, this is a great race for Red Star. This is a great race for Aston Martin.
The last lap. If anything's going to happen, it'll be right now.
This is an even better day for ProDrive. Fexagan bought the team from Mazda. He said he wanted to turn it around.
Excellent, screaming his mind out right now. He must be on stream right now just yelling.
Oh my god. What is happening? We've got half a lap to go. Professor Bloxer is leading by half a second with ProDrive for the first time ever. Oh, he just hit a curb there. He's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. That's lost him time. Critical Noobs is catching up. Critical Noob is catching up.
The stream is lagging. It's so blurry.
Doesn't matter. We'll just keep rolling with it.
It doesn't matter.
We'll become a podcast if we have to.
Through
the chicane of
death.
death.
Goes to the chicane of death easily. No problems.
All three of them get through.
This is the slipstream, though. The slipstream's going to change it.
We're through turn 20. 3 corners to go. It's 3 corners to go for Professor Bloxer.
They're going to push for it. They're going to push as hard as they possibly can. Critical
Noob wants it. Who's it going to be at the line? I don't know.
And it's Professor.
It's Professor Bloxer. He wins on debut for ProDrive.
ProDrive wins.
What has just happened here in the last 19 laps of this restart? We lost Kaikera, the championship leader. We lost Dakar, the person in second place. And the new team, the new kid on the block, have just won their first race.
Professor gets first. Critical Noob gets second with fastest lap, I might add. Fernand with Aston Martin is going to round off the podium with Aston Martin. Indominus Rex with BMW taking fourth. Fifth is Danson Hadjic with Audi. He might actually be able to get into the constructors' top place.
And Lanstroy takes ninth from Aviaton Chads.
How did he do it? Mums with Uprise getting 6th. He's going to be able to get points off of E-Spirit. He might actually be able to keep himself from getting his team taken out. F1 fan with Craig finally getting some points. Mr. Macho Globe taking 8th. For McLaren, Lanstroy taking 9th with Bradstar, able to at least get some points after Dakar's crash. And then Aviation Chad taking 10th, rounding off the top 10. And then Project User with 11, taking a great 11th place. He did not crash, thank God. So that's going to be 2 R&D points for Aston Martin. And then you have Mr. Lackishot taking 12th, staying in the race. Unlike Kaikera, he's going to be finishing the race right now. And that will be everybody finishing the race. I think Acer actually crashed. So yeah, that means only 13 people finished this race today. Out of the 23.
I'd like to thank Alvin Blocks for the £2 super chat. ProDrive We Move, proud to sponsor this team. You should be very proud indeed. They just won their debut race in the most advanced road racing league that there is.
That has got to be put down as probably one of the best races we've ever seen.
I need a deep breath after that one.
I need a drink.
This is going to be a very exciting podium ceremony. Professor Bloxer left their home of Aston Martin, their home of the last 3.5 seasons. They're replaced by this man on your screen now, Project User. They went to ProDrive. I don't think they were expecting much. They did well in qualifying. They qualified second on the grid. Fell down at the start. Did well in the restart. And then Dakar died. And Professor Bloxer won.
Kaikera died. It's so insane what happened. And not only that, but this is Professor's first win, isn't it?
Is it?
I think it is. Because if
it is, then that's just like a story made in heaven.
Like, think about it this way. The only people who got first place last season was Brandstar, E-Spirit, and Ferrari. Which means Professor never could have gotten a first place, and he definitely hasn't this season. That means this is Professor's first win.
I'm really struggling to believe this at the moment.
Oh my goodness.
Professor
this
Bloxer
changes
leaves
everything.
Aston Martin, which has been his home for so long. He tries something new, he goes to Pro Drive, and he wins for the first time ever. Not only his first
Well, I
time
think-
ever, but the team's first time ever, because it was their first race.
I think that's going to secure Professor Bloxer in Pro Drive for the rest of the season, yes?
I think it should. I think it definitely should.
Pro Drive needs to get their car into this podium. Not going to wait forever, guys.
I think during this gap quickly between Park Ferme and the podium, we can bring in here Dancer Hayek. You are so close to winning that race. Congratulations. That was a really storming drive from Audi.
Yeah, well, I almost didn't do the race in the first place, and then on the second last lap, on the same line I took every single lap. I just hit a random bump and it spun me out, so... It really sucks, because when Dakar is out, anyone can essentially win, and that was my biggest chance I've had yet, and it didn't happen because of something that's out of my control.
Well, it's a big shame, but you were doing really well, so hopefully that's impressed the top people at Audi.
Yeah, well, P6 into P5 isn't bad, I guess, but
No.
P1 definitely was better.
P1 would have been better, but you still did really well, so I think you should be very proud of that one.
Yeah, I would be if I was P1.
Thank you for joining us, Dance. We'll move on to some other people now, unless the podium comes first. I'm not too sure. We'll just have to wait and see. Here is Fernand in third place for Aston Martin. Critical Noob in second place for Red Star. And here is the winner, Professor Bloxer for Pro Drive.
Oh man, he is so excited for that win.
That is
And not only that, but he's on
absolutely
the podium
crazy.
with his old teammate Ferdinand, who's getting second or third right next to him. And Critical Noob taking that third. Great time for Red Star. It is such a big redemption for Red Star. One of the worst teams now taking a podium.
There were 4 drivers at the end of the penultimate lap that could have taken the win, and by the end of the final lap, it was Professor Bloxer for Pro Drive. I'm pretty speechless on what just happened. I hope you are as well, and I hope you enjoyed it, because I certainly did. That was absolutely insane.
And that should conclude F1 for today. Be sure to join us as we start F2 shortly.
Here are the list of our members. We thank them very much for supporting us and giving us money and letting us do more cool things and bringing you exciting races just like this one. What an insane race. I actually see here we've got Professor Bloxer waiting. If we bring them in now, what a race.
Thank you.
What happened there? Take us through what you were seeing in your mind. What happened? Dakar DNFs, were you expecting to end up on the top step?
No, in fact, I thought I was being told the gap to P1, and I thought the best we could do is P2, and then I got told he crashed, so there was a big opportunity there, and I guess we took advantage of it.
What is going through your mind now, knowing that after all the races you've completed, all the ones you've crashed out on, all the ones you could have placed, this is the one race where you actually get the win?
It's unbelievable, and it's my home GP too, so makes it even better.
Do you think the move from Aston Martin helped? Like, you were with them since season 1.
Yeah.
And now you've moved to Pro Drive, and then suddenly you've just won your first race.
Well, I don't want to say that it was that Amor was holding me back or anything, but I think I just drove a really good race. I think Fernand was up there too, so I think AMR is fine. I don't know, it was just a crazy race, to be honest.
So it was pretty much, you think, luck-based?
Not necessarily. We had a lot of data. We had good engineers, we had good callouts, we had good comms. So I think it was just a really good team effort. And then I was really in the zone today, so
That is true.
I had to pull it off.
Well, a big congratulations to you. That it was
Thank
a
you.
very good performance through those last few laps, and I was screaming my head off, and I'm sure Fexaround was as well. So, and my advice would be enjoy yourself, because that was insane.
I'll try. I think I'm gonna... It's not really processed yet, so I think I have to wait a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're also waiting on Fernand to speak to us as well, your old partner. Do you think
Yeah.
he did a pretty good race as well?
He did. I thought he was gonna win on that last lap because the slipstream is very powerful, and I had no ERS for the whole second half of the lap. So I was just praying that they wouldn't make a mistake, or that the slipstream wouldn't allow them to catch up. And I think it allowed Critical to get that close too. So there were a few moments in that last lap where I thought it wouldn't happen, but it did. So I'm really glad.
All right. Well, congratulations, Professor
Thank
Bloxer.
you.
We're going to get Infantry and Fernand in here for AMR afterwards. Congratulations, and best of luck on your future career with ProDrive.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, let's get both of the AMR people in here real quick. Hello, AMR. Congratulations on your P3. How are y'all feeling?
I feel happy because Professor won. Definitely.
Yeah, just think about it. If he was still at AMR, that would have been two people in the podium for AMR.
mean-
I'm very happy to see that Prof is doing well with a new team.
Well, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the P3? Because that is pretty good for an Aston Martin after, I don't think you guys have been able to get a podium this season yet.
That's
Oh,
obviously a huge moment for the team, but like Fernand said, I think we're happy to see our former member get his first win, and overall, we ourselves had a good race today, so it couldn't be better.
Well, of course. Are you guys excited for the next race?
Canadian Grand Prix. I'm definitely excited for that.
Yeah, it's always an
Alright.
interesting track to watch.
Well, I think you guys have secured your stage 4 season 5 at this rate. Anything you guys want to add?
Do you mind if I ask something?
Sure.
Is it okay if we get Prof here with me?
We can try
we
and see if we can get
We
Professor
can see if
back.
we can bring him back in.
Yeah, I'll also contact him.
We'll be needing to start F2 shortly, but I think we can allow this real quick.
There is Professor Bloxer. Hello,
Here he
welcome
is.
back.
Let's go.
Wait, why am I here again?
Because Ferdinand asked for
Celebrate.
you to bring in.
Okay.
So we'll celebrate on the commentary box, because why not?
Okay.
So yeah, both
I don't know.
AMR drivers of the past now getting in the podium together, even though on different teams. How y'all both feel?
Well, I feel really happy that I got to be on the podium together with Prof, to be honest.
Same.
Do you
I
feel
thought
like
you were gonna
the
win.
do you guys feel like the increased sense of competition with you guys being on different teams kind of helped in your results?
Perhaps? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Because you guys were fighting it out, mano a mano multiple times.
Yeah,
We
that
would
was...
be doing that anyway if we were both in the same team, but
Yeah.
maybe. Because we're not... Yeah.
We tend to have the same pace for some weird reason.
This team has been so successful over the years. Their consistency has been great, and they have the same mindset. But to see them competing against each other is even better, because it just adds more fun to the competition.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. I'm sorry. It may not have been an AMR 1-2, but it's a Bromas 1-2.
It is definitely
And it's going to be interesting to see how these standings change now with this incredible race, because I feel like everything's going to change now.
Yeah. My bad, I also won 3, but it's still the same thing.
Anyways, best of luck to you guys. Hopefully you guys continue this pace during the rest of the races this season. And hopefully we see you guys again maybe season 5. You guys think you're still going to be around for that?
I don't know. I'm still undecided.
Well, whatever
I'm
you
gonna be on
choose, the
season
best
5.
of luck. Whatever you choose, the best of luck. Anyways, we're going to leave it at that. Hope you guys have a great day. We're going to be closing off this stream real quick. D-Pod, do you want to let them off?
Yep, F2's up next. Stay tuned for that. Make sure you go find it. I'm not sure if it'll be as exciting as this race. I've just been doing the maths in my head. Professor Bloxer now finds themselves second place in the Drivers' Championship. So, because of the lack of points for Kakar and Dakar, I think ProDrive are going to be pretty happy after today.
Not only that, but Uprise is going to be up in the points now. However, it might not be enough. I mean, 6th place, you also saw the 11th team of ProDrive getting crazy points. I don't think it'll be enough to get up to eSpirit's level because they have 14 points, but, you know, we'll see what happens.
Oh, and I think the Drivers' Championship is actually being changed as I speak, so we'll get back to that later. That'll be posted in the Discord server, which you can join from the link in the description. You can also become a member or play any of our games. We have IFR, IEV, the karting game, or you can just join the group, join the Discord server, do whatever you want. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later. Well, Project User is going to see you in a second for F2. We'll see you tomorrow for GT3 and Crossbow. And then a week later, next week, we're going to have round 7 of FE and I8, as well as round 2 of IEC. So from me, from Shay, from everyone we've interviewed, thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Adios.